Argentina up against Uruguay, folks. 52 points to 17 is about what was expected from Argentina in this performance, but half-time at 12 points to 7 was certainly closer than expected. Apologies, I am much behind on the rugby that was played overnight or in the morning here in New Zealand, so it's a little bit belated, but we'll go through this match. I do think it's been a good chance, not just this game, but generally in July, to see the Pumas introducing some new players into the squad. A bunch of guys who I had never seen play rugby at any level before are now fully capped international players for the Pumas, so they will benefit from this experience, and hopefully some of the guys who haven't been playing will be able to have gotten a nice rest before the Rugby Championship, because it is hard with so many guys playing rugby in Europe to actually get a break as the Rugby Championship starts, when many other players would be having a break from their rugby if they are based in Europe. But yeah, apart from that, they ended up putting in a big second half shift. I think 40 points to 10 in the second half to push the scoreline out. For Uruguay, obviously, it's a good first half from them. It's good to see guys like Aldao and whatnot, because I don't get to see these guys play very often. There's still such a threat at the breakdown, but second half was maybe a bit of evidence of the difference in class between the sides, but hopefully good prep for their upcoming matches as well. We'll go through some of the key events and stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts. Penalty try early for the Argentinians. Uruguay just didn't handle the kickoff. Knock it on, scrum, penalty, maul, collapsed, yellow card. Sanguinetti gets it for collapsing the maul, and it's a penalty try. So 7 points to 0 is a perfect start for the Pumas. But what could they do during the time with the extra man? Not much. The Uruguay actually did very well in that period, and even went close to scoring. They managed to get one through Aliaga at the end of the yellow card period, so once they were back to 15 men to make it 7 points apiece. And that score stayed like that for ages. I mean, Argentina had chances. They had one try TMO'd for offside. They had decent positions where they would just knock the ball on or forward pass. Uruguay had decent periods of possession as well. There was another chance knocked on by Argentina when they had a nice kick through, but just couldn't quite be handled. They did finally, after a lot of effort, get their second try of the match through the veteran Moroni, when they finally managed to make things stick. He straightened. It was a great line from him, and missed conversion made it 12 points to 7. But 12 points to 7 is certainly far closer than this game was supposed to be. But as I said, there's a whole new 19 combo for the Pumas in this one, and I feel like they did get better as the game went on. Second half, Uruguay nailed 3 points from a penalty to make it 12-10, which is still very much game on, but Argentina replied, and they really started to open up again. Uruguay, a mistake on the kickoff. They didn't quite catch it, so pick and go from the Pumas. Montoya, the captain, is able to go over, extends the lead further. Argentina, their midfield scrums, oh my goodness, very deadly. Uruguay had really no answer to the, not like the Pumas scrum, but the set plays they would have at scrum time. Very pleasing to see, just from a fan's point of view, to see those moves just click into action. It was basically just 2 passes left, and Cordero, and I think what's his last game for the Pumas, they had an overlap and he goes over, so 24-10. Then it looked like Argentina had scored again, but they got the TMO on the line again, and Rubiolo gets himself red carded on 51 minutes for a clean out shoulder to head. It's initially yellow, sent off the field, and it is upgraded to red. And Uruguay were able to punish a 14-man Argentina, with Alvarez getting a nice try out wide to make it 24-17. But that's about as good as it got from Uruguay. Like, it was a kind of nice turnaround for them, because it looked like they conceded. They ended up scoring, red card, extra man for Uruguay, but then bang. The Pumas just really put them to the sword. 14-man Argentina, 5-meter tap move, forwards go close, spin it to Picardo, who's also one of the relatively new faces in the squad. He gets a try. Another scrum, hands from the back, sends up in the right wing with Iscaro. It's another try, 38-17. Argentina really starting to run riot. Mojano, another one of the new faces. He gets one from close range, 45-17. And then Cordero steps and sets up another one for Roger, who's another one of the new faces. That's what's so pleasing about this result from Argentina. 52-17. Second half blowout, finishes 8 tries to 2. Turnovers 1 is the one area that if you're a Uruguay fan, you'll be looking and thinking, We're still very good at this game. They won 7 of them to Argentina's 4. So it's maybe a little bit of a vulnerability that Contepomi will be looking at. And also they coughed up too much ball. 16 turnovers conceded. It's not the highest I've seen this weekend, but it's a bit too high. Most of those would have been in the first half. But line breaks, 11-3. Defenders beaten 34-13. And they didn't kick much ball, the Pumas. They got some nice ball-in-hand attacking stats when they weren't knocking it on. Kicks from hand was only 13-17. So 13 by the Pumas is very, very low. Most teams are 20 plus, sometimes 30. If you're England, 40. So 13 is exceptionally low. Confident to play with the ball in hand. Matera, 13 carries. Elizalde at fullback, also another one of the new faces, impressive. He had a try chalked off, or foot and touch, like 3 clean breaks from him. Iskro beat 8 defenders. Roger set up 2 tries. So, yeah, pleasing for the depth in Argentina, and that's despite a red card as well. Ardal still won 3 turnovers, and Deos had 12 tackles for the Los Teros, but not the Los Teros, just Los Teros. But that's it, 52-17. Ultimately, it's a good second half performance, but yeah, we'll see what the Argentinian squad looks like for the Rugby Championship once those squads gets named, because you feel like they are going to be pushing some of these new faces into the squad, hopefully. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts on the match. I'm off to watch England and the USA. We'll see if that's a close one or not, because I haven't seen the result. But anyway, I doubt it. You guys take care. I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.